Hey internet, I'm back. This is Bingy here. Yeah, it's the Cypher Sore Eyes, isn't it? It's, yeah, it's been a while since I've been in front of the camera, huh? Yeah, starting to look at myself in the. Ugh. Definitely tell it's been a while. Yeah. I don't know what else to begin with, but I guess just say what I've been doing for a while. It's a bit of a personal vlog, so I could get myself back into the mood of talking about movies. Since it's been a while since I've been in front of a camera talking about a bad movie, and I guess I'll just explain what I've been doing for a while. Suffice to say, I've been doing a show with a good friend of mine, Sam Donnelly, who came up with this great idea of a show of me and him going to check out the latest movies in the theater and get inside the car or sometimes on a couch and talk about the latest movies that came out. And so we had a great time with it. For those of you that don't know, the show is called Heterosexual Movie Date. Sam and Bingy's Heterosexual Movie Date. And yeah, like I said, we've had a great time with it. We had a blast with it, and but the one movie that kind of broke the straw for a while was movie 43, and it's because of that Sam left, and I wouldn't blame him for that. So, what else have I been doing after that? Well, nothing really, just working and working and working and working, and pretty much going through a lot of personal stuff, personal troubles that I've had since the beginning of the year, and yeah, I've really just gone through a lot of problems, but I've had some friends who have been there for me through countless times, and especially Sam, and especially his one and only somebody, Haley. And I have nobody to thank but those guys. Those guys have been there for me countless times, and I'm surprised they can still keep that they still put up with my shit. So really, thank you guys for being there for me. Thank all of my friends for being there for me, and a very very big thanks to my loving family, especially my mother, who I've put her through so much shit that I'm surprised that she still puts up with me. So yeah. Getting all that personal shit out of the way, what else have I been doing? Well, still seeing movies. It just wouldn't be me if I didn't see any movies. Suffice to say, after movie 43, I was really hoping that the rest of the year would be that the year so far would be going all right. And suffice to say, there was some duds and there was some gems. And I wanted to do a quick little vlog of the movies that I've seen so far, leading up to going to see Oblivion tomorrow, so I can tell you guys what I thought about that. What I thought about it. So I will get my ticket stub collection out. Yes, I have a ticket stub collection. Deal with it, and I guess we'll just start with after movie 43, and it'll be Side Effects. It's another Steven Soderbergh film, and I really, really liked it for what I really liked it, and it was good acting all around, especially from Channing Tatum. The guy with the way his baby voice kind of bugs me, but he wasn't in the movie for so long, so I just liked it for what it was. But yeah, Side Effects was a good movie. I would recommend it to Steven Soderbergh fans out there who like his indie films more than his mainstream ones. And yeah, this is a good one. I would recommend it. Next up is Warm Bodies, aka Twilight but with zombies. And I was really not looking forward to seeing this movie, especially the whole zombie slowly becoming a human through the power of love bullshit. Just really bothered me, but suffice to say, it wasn't really a bad movie. It's not a bad date movie, especially if you have a girlfriend that's into that kind of shit. But the things that just really bothered me, and these might be minor nitpicks for me, was the whole zombie eating a brain, and it can actually gain its memories, kind of thing. It's no, you don't do that. That's not how zombies work at all. I don't give a shit what you have to say about it. It's not a zombie movie. It really isn't. So I would say rent it when it comes out on DVD, I guess. I really can't say that this would be something you want to see in the theater. That's really all I can say about it. And we go on to one of the biggest disappointments of 2013 for me. Good Day to Die Hard. And that really hurts me to say that, because I love the Die Hard series. I'll even say I liked Live Free or Die Hard, and I was really hoping I was going to love this too, but I couldn't. I really couldn't. If you guys had a problem with the whole indestructible John McClane and Live Free or Die Hard, trust me, they amp it up in this movie to a point where it just kind of loses its charm. Like, the reason why we loved the first Die Hard was because John McClane was an everyman, and he got hurt. He was limping. Hell, he was limping at the end of the movie because of all the broken glass that he had to walk through in his bare feet. You know, he was that hurt. That's what made him so iconic to action fans out there, because he was just that everyman that just still can kick some ass despite going through a lot of pain himself. And Die Hard 2 was good. Die Hard 3 was excellent, especially with the added assistance of Samuel L. Jackson. Live Free or Die Hard was not was not a terrible movie like so many other people said it was. I liked it for what it was. They may have had the indestructible John McClane, but he was still kind of hurt in the end. But this one, my God, they just lost touch with Die Hard altogether. This really just pissed me off. And this shouldn't even be a Die Hard movie. It should have been the guy that played McClane's son in this movie. This should have been his action movie. This really should have been. But because we have to have Bruce Willis in fucking everything, they just said, well, this script doesn't work out, so why don't we give Bruce Willis a call? He's up for anything. We'll just rewrite this as a Die Hard movie. Fan-fucking-tastic. Pissed me off so much. So skip it, go watch the first three, and hell, go even watch Live Free or Die Hard. It's more of a Die Hard movie than this one. Next up is Snitch. One of I think about one of three or four Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies that's coming out this year. Snitch was an alright movie. What I really liked about it was the fact that Dwayne was acting as a everyman kind of guy. He wasn't this indestructible badass that they make you look like he's going to be in this movie. No, he actually gets hurt. Like early on in the movie, about 20 minutes or so, he goes to a street corner. He wants to get some information on some people who sell drugs, and he tries to snatch one of the drug dealers. And this is like a scrawny little dude, but he actually gets a group of his friends and starts beating the shit out of him. Now keep in mind, like, this guy, like, The Rock is fucking masculine, man. He's fucking built, and you would think that he was gonna go out and kick these guys' asses. No, he actually gets hurt, and he falls down and stays down. I like that. I like that they actually do that. It adds a bit of realism to it. Other than that, if you've seen the trailer, then you already know what's going to happen with it. I would say give it a rental when it comes out on DVD. It's not a bad watch. Next up is Jack the Giant Slayer. Bryan Singer, you know, I was really, really hoping that this would be somewhat decent, especially after the botch, the huge-ass fucking botch that was Superman Returns. I was really kind of hoping that this one would be decent, and it was just forgettable after a while. I mean, hell, just trying to think about the plot and everything, it just kind of is just slowly coming to pace, but it's just not working. I don't know what else to say about that movie, but just maybe something for the kids, maybe, but that's all I can really say about it. It's really a forgettable movie. Don't bother with it. Speaking of something else you shouldn't bother with, Last Exorcism Part 2. You know, I really, really, really have this bad tendency of seeing like these movies that or seeing sequels to movies that I just didn't care about. Last Exorcism was one of them, and the fact that this movie was going into Blair Witch 2 territory, where it was not going to be all shaky cam kind of shit, like found footage stuff. This was going to be an actual kind of movie. I was really scared about that, and rightfully so. This movie was terrible. And Eli Roth didn't even have to direct it. He still produced it, but he didn't even have to direct it. This was just a terrible movie, and I really don't recommend you actually checking this out. This was just bad. Next up is Dead Man Down, and yeah, you know, the trailer for this movie made it look like it was gonna be something fucking hardcore, especially with the really excellent cover of "Shine On You Crazy Diamond." It made the movie look awesome. I was kind of looking forward to it, and then once you actually see it, it really is just that meh kind of movie. What I really didn't like about it was the fact that it just kind of dropped you into the middle of what's going on, and it would have to explain through exposition what it is that's going on, and I hate that. I don't understand why you can't just start the movie off at the beginning of the scenario instead of just in the middle of it. That really just kind of gets you a little confused, and it kind of makes you like wonder, why didn't they just show this at the beginning of it? Why did we have to explain it? Show, don't tell kind of thing. But other than that, it's not a bad movie. It's not the worst Colin Farrell movie I've seen. I guess maybe as a rental, if you're a WWE fan, you'll absolutely love Wade Barrett getting burned alive. Oh, sorry, spoilers. So, but yeah, just say I'd give it a rental. Next up is The Call. Oh boy, where do I start with this? Excellent 2 acts in this movie. It actually is very suspenseful, how this movie is. And it really had me going there for a while. It was actually making me wonder what's going to happen next, because this is something that actually could happen, you know, and it had that sense of realism that I really liked about it. And then the third act happened. Now, without going into too much detail, it goes into Saw territory a bit, and my God, does it get stupid, especially the ending. Oh my God, I just left the theater just going, that was fucking stupid. That was really stupid. So I really can't recommend this movie. It had a really good first and second act. It had me on my seat. It was that very suspenseful kind of shit. And that third act happened, it just shat all over itself. So I would say skip it altogether. Next up is Oz the Great and Powerful. Not a big James Franco fan, I'm going to say. Some of his movies I did like. I thought he did a pretty good job in Pineapple Express. His other good movie was 127 Hours. Got him an Oscar nod, and I think he did a good job with that. I really just couldn't see this guy as the Wizard of Oz. I can't. I'm sorry. I really thought that this movie was terrible choice of casting. And the movie is beautiful to look at. Don't get me wrong. Like, the movie is beautiful, especially in 3D. But the story along with it, the James Franco as a wizard, I couldn't get into it. So I would say as a rental, if you're a diehard Oz fan, then I guess check it out. But other than that, it's more of a rental. Next up is The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. This is the movie that everybody was all buzzing about because I had Steve Carell and Jim Carrey back, and people were saying that Jim Carrey was the scene stealer, was the show stealer throughout the entire movie, and I will agree, he did steal this entire movie for me. He does a really good kind of impersonation of Chris Angel in a way. The whole old school magic versus new magic kind of thing. That's really all that it is. I would say go see it if you're a Jim Carrey fan. That's about it. That's all I can really say about that. Croods, the latest in the DreamWorks Animation Studios, and I have to say, I actually enjoyed it. I had a good time with it, and it had a great story along with it. It was funny at times. The visuals are great in that movie, and with the added bonus of Nicolas Cage in it, you can't go wrong with that. So yeah, I would say go check out The Croods. It's definitely worth a watch. Even if kids' movies are not your thing, this is actually a kids' movie I would really recommend. Like I said, especially if you're a Nicolas Cage fan. Next up is Olympus Has Fallen. I look at this as the draft script for Die Hard, Good Day to Die Hard, because really, that's all I could see throughout this when I was watching this movie, that this needed to be a Die Hard movie. This should have had John McClane show up. And not to say that Gerard Butler did a bad job. He did an alright job in this movie. Other than that, it's still an action flick. Nothing new, nothing groundbreaking at all. It's a typical action movie. So if you're an action movie junkie, I would say maybe, I guess. That's really all I can say about it. Next up is G.I. Joe Retaliation, the second in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies. And I have to say, this was actually a bit of a fun movie. I actually had some fun with it. This was a proper G.I. Joe movie than The Rise of Cobra was. I thought that The Rock did an alright job in this movie. The over the topness and everything was really fun. I had a good time with it. If you're a G.I. Joe kind of a fan, this is your movie. You should go check this out. Other than that, if you're just a regular moviegoer, I would say maybe as a rental. Next up is The Host. Stephenie Meyer, we meet again. I cannot believe the words I'm actually going to say about this. This was worse than Twilight. This was absolutely worse than Twilight. I really, really hated this movie. This movie was so fucking annoying and pitiful. Okay, so the whole summary of the movie is that these aliens have taken over the human bodies, taken away just taken over everything. So you would think, like, how can there be a story to that? Well, it turns out that the human subconscious in the mind is like attacking these hosts. They are talking inside of their heads, making them do this shit. And the main character of this movie dies like in the first 1 minute of the movie, and she gets taken over, and the alien takes over her body, but somehow her human subconscious is still alive and talking to her, and talking to the alien, and you would think that would actually be kind of interesting choice. But just imagine this. Imagine that right now, Na'vi from The Legend of Zelda. You know how she was annoying when she was going, "Hey, hey, hey, listen, listen." Imagine that for a 2 hour and 5 minute movie. And instead of "hey, listen," it will be nothing more than, "No, what are you doing? Stop! Why are you kissing him? Stop kissing him! No, don't! Stop!" Now just imagine that. Imagine that for 2 hours and 5 minutes. I'm going to give you about 5 seconds. Imagine that. Yeah, it's giving you a headache, isn't it? That's what this... Yeah, that's this movie in a nutshell. It's a big fucking headache. I did not care for the human characters at all. The aliens were just stupid. The whole fact that all of their cars are all chrome and shit is fucking stupid. And every human in this movie was either unlikable or I just did not give a shit. And the ending to it did like the biggest dodge that ethical bullet out of the way, and it just makes you laugh your ass off. This was a terrible movie. Skip it altogether. As I said, this is worse than fucking Twilight. I have said a lot of bad things about Twilight, but at least this had a fucking story. This did not have a fucking story, or at least it tried to, but I just lost count after a while, because after a while I just kind of got lost and I didn't give a shit. So yeah, fuck this movie. Next up is Spring Breakers. This is the movie that I've seen a lot of advertisements for. I'm not familiar with the director. I know that he directed one of the movies that one of my favorite reviewers, Owen Citizen, did for Brows Held High, called Trash Humpers. So this is that director's first big mainstream movie, and this was him basically saying, "Yeah, I can make a big mainstream movie with pop music and everything, and still make it have a message to it." In a nutshell, I guess the moral of the story is you go to parties and you kill people. That's really all that it is. And seriously, you will see you will see like every shot of a woman's ass throughout this entire movie. You will see every angle of it. You will see seriously, the first minute of the movie is a slow motion montage of tits and ass set to dubstep music. That's the first minute of this movie. You're in for a fucking laugh after that. This was just bad, man. This is fucking man. I'm surprised they actually brought that fucking movie here, but man, that was just bad. So yeah, skip it altogether, man. Next up is Evil Dead. Now this is the one I was looking forward to. I've had a problem with remakes in the past. There have been a few exceptions, like Dread, for example. Evil Dead was one of those remakes I was kind of not looking forward to for a while, because I love the Evil Dead series. I absolutely adore it, and hearing that this remake was coming along was not going to be something pleasant. And then I started hearing things about that this wasn't technically a remake. This was a different generation kind of thing, or dimension, and all like this movie and the upcoming Evil Dead 4 are all going to come mashing together. So seeing this as a different look into Evil Dead, as a different generation of Evil Dead, this was actually alright. I had a good time with it. I love the practical effects in this movie. The practical effects is awesome, and it's something that, as a true horror fan, would love. And it's great to know that there are people out there who still respect practical effects instead of the CGI blood bullshit that we have nowadays in horror movies. I shouldn't even say horror movies. Yeah, I would say if you're an Evil Dead fan, go check this out. I would really recommend this. And as a bit of a heads up, stay after the credits. You'll thank me for that later. Next up is Scary Movie 5. Yep, I saw Scary Movie 5. In a nutshell, A Haunted House was better than this. And moving on. Next up is 42. This is the Jackie Robinson biopic, and I'm not a big sports kind of guy. I've seen some sports movies, and some of them have been pretty decent, and some of them have been kind of forgettable, and some of them overrated, kind of like Remember the Titans. It's a good movie, but it was just so overrated. Especially a lot of people kept saying how great of a movie it is, even though it was just all right. But this was good. I liked it. This was a really good biopic of Jackie Robinson during the times of the racist times of the 1940s, of hiring a black guy into the Major League of Baseball and everything. It was a big thing, and I really think they did this pretty good justice. And not only does it go into Jackie Robinson a bit, it goes into the other players of the team as well, and I like that. I like the fact that they actually go into the other team's perspective into this instead of just Jackie Robinson. There was more than just a Jackie Robinson kind of thing. And yeah, I really enjoyed it for what it was. I had a good time. If I would say go check this out in the movie theater if you can. So that's the movies I have seen for a while, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to telling you guys what I think about Oblivion and the movies to come for the rest of this year. Hopefully for the rest of this year. If you get a chance, I'm going to put in the description below. I want you guys to check out Sam Donnelly's YouTube page, as well as go to gonzopolis.com. It's a great website to see all of the past episodes of Hetero Movie Date, along with some of the other shows he's done, like Dicking with Docs, his review show on documentaries, The Grave Robbers, which is a really good podcast of people working in the gas station, and also his very funny episode of Twitter Twat, of him asking questions to the Pope. So I will put the links down below in the description box, and I hope that you guys will check him out. So until next time, this is Bingy signing out.